Hey, welcome back everybody to another edition of Midlife Crisis. I'm your host, Leo. Here we got the 2008 Corvette convertible C6 body style. What we're going to do today, now we're going to have some fun. We're going to put in a rear spoiler. Now I couldn't decide, do I go ZR1? Do I go ZR1 Extended? Or do I go with the wicker bill? Alright, and the wicker bill looks real cool when you got like the hatch. It's just too aggressive on these cars when it's convertible. So I decided that I'm going to go with the ZR1 style extended. And it's not a huge extension, so it's just a little extra wedge. Instead of just a small bump, it's just going to come up a little bit more. All right, we're going gloss black because this is a dark red, so the black offsets it pretty nice. It'll match the smoked turn signals there. Now what I did is I went ahead and I unscrewed the taillights. But it's very, very easy. Guys, T15 Torx, okay? So if you come on over here, you'll see that all you do is you take the T15 Torx out and you pull this down and it swings out. See, it's got little tabs here that go right back here, okay? And then you just put this down gently. It's not going to scratch your bumper, guys. If you're anal, wrap it. You want to unclip it, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I drive this car, it's not a show car, and I beat the crap out of it. So anyways, I went ahead and took the screws that hold this down. Now what it is it's a 10 millimeter nut, okay? So this is actually it right here. So it's very easy. You just unscrew it a little bit with a little box wrench. You don't even need all these power tools, just a little box wrench. Once you get it undone a little bit, it should just spin right out. Okay, I took them out with my hand. Then you just push up on the screw tabs. And as you're taking it out, you just reach in through here and you unclip the light. There it is. Okay, so this is literally how it is. It'll be facing down. You just push back on this and it'll just pop right off. It comes off very easy. This has been the easiest disassembly possible. Okay, so with a T15 Torx and a 10 millimeter box wrench, you can take this off. Okay, now when you buy a new wing, you're supposed to reuse this light. Okay, and all you do is you just take off these screws right here. Okay, and what I used for that was this bad boy here. Let's see. I'm a little blind, bear with me. 532, so that is SAE. 5/32, and you just, I'll show you exactly how it just fits, okay? You just put it right here, because it's got a reverse Torx idea. So you just put it in there, and it'll unscrew, you'll undo the coarse piece, it'll come right off. I took all four off thinking I was gonna use all four, but unfortunately the new wing only has coarse in the middle here, these two screws. So I went ahead and I bought a different LED light because my side turn signals are LED and they're smoked. So what I did is I bought the smoked LED light. Okay, now this one has a F1 option, right? Which means if I turn this from the little zero to the little light, the little line, it'll, when you step on the brake, it'll flash like a Formula One car as you're stopping. I'm not a Formula One car. We'll just keep this normal. Okay, so I'll include a link to this wing, the extended ZR1 style wing. I got this one in gloss black. They come in black primer, which is like a flat black. They come in a hydro dipped fake carbon. And then they have in a real carbon, and obviously the prices all vary depending on which one you get. This is the second most, the primer, gloss black, hydro dipped, carbon fiber. That's the order of prices going up, starting at $200 for the regular one. This was $250. Okay, and I'll include a link to the wing. I'll include a link to this tail light. So what I did is I took the two screws from the original and put it right here, okay, into the middle. These have a different thread, and I'm not going to use the outside threads. I'm not making holes in my car, okay? I'm not racing. This isn't a big wing that's going to do all kinds of downforce. Maybe if I got the wicker bill that had more downforce, okay. You don't need to, okay? And I confirm this. I got a buddy of mine, works in automotive. My dad worked in automotive for 50 years, okay? This 3M tape is more than enough. In fact, a lot of the Mercedes with that little lip of a spoiler only use one strip. I got 3 strips. This ain't going anywhere. I already cleaned this down, so we're good to go. And all we're gonna do is, we're gonna feed this down through the hole. So if I ever want to change it to the F1 style, I could just take one taillight out, reach in, hit the switch, I'm good to go. But it's super, super easy. I'm gonna feed this in, I'm gonna clip this in, okay? And as we feed it in, we're just self-aligning. And you're wondering, well, what about the tape? That's right, we do have the tape, but the tape is not gonna affect us, okay, until I'm ready to put this in. So what I'm doing is, I got it lined up. I'll reach in, I'll peel the tape back on all of them, and then I could just push it down, okay? So while I do that, because I'm gonna fiddle and I'm gonna screw stuff up, because that's what I do. I screw shit up. I'm gonna do that. You take your time. We'll do a little movie magic, we'll pause, and when we come back, you'll see how this lays nice and flat, and it's super easy, and we'll be done. This really is more prep than work, okay? It took more time for me to go get the 3M double-sided roll at Home Depot than it did to put it on here, to take the old one off, and to clean this up. So I'm telling you, guys, all of you can do it. Only tools you'll need: scissors for the 3M double-sided tape, T15 Torx. It can be a screwdriver, it doesn't have to be this fancy thing. 10mm box wrench, and a 5/32 socket. It helps to be on one of these. You can use just a ratchet style if you want. You'll just be there a little longer. I got no patience. So that's all you need. I'll list the items you need, the tools you need in the description, along with the links to the wing and this taillight in case you want it. And we'll be right back. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hey, isn't movie magic fantastic? All right, so I went ahead, I had some fun time struggling with getting the screws in for the outside here of the 4. The nuts from the original 2 tabs that I used from the original little spoiler, that went on super easy because, you know, Chevy thought it out, and then the aftermarket world's aftermarket world. Want to point out, the wing will come with this. Okay, it's a little bit of 3M tape. It's super thin. I used it only on the front lip here, on the underside, because it's thin, so I use that there. The big fat 3M tape I bought at Home Depot, I used for the sides where I'm supposed to have 2 more screws that I did not put because I didn't want to make holes and I don't need it. This 3M stuff works for it. I had billet housed LEDs on my motorcycle when I had a race bike, and I would do wheelies and I'd come down and it'd bang up, and they never fell off, okay? We're talking solid billet housing. This is not going to be even taking a remote amount of that kind of torture. So you're fine with that. So I want to point out, from the hardware that they include, you will only use 2 of the fine thread 10mm screws with a Phillips head here, okay? And you'll use those on the 2 outside screw holes of the, what used to be the little duck bill, the little winglet that was here. You'll use those there. So you'll use 2 of the hardware that they provide. Then you're going to be taking out the old hardware from your old brake light, okay? And you're going to use it here on this spot right here. These 2 spots on the new one, you'll reuse what you took off of this old one. These outer ones, you won't need to take them off because they won't work on the wing, because this is coarse and on the wing it's a fine thread. So that's where the 2 outside ones is where you'll have to actually use their hardware. And those are the hardest screws to put in. Okay, so you might want to just make the holes here on the car just a little bit bigger to make your life a little bit easier. Okay, you can reuse your brake light, but like I said, I changed it to an LED one. I know that these are LED, okay, but I wanted one that was like a thin, long strip, and I wanted it smoked out so it blends in with the wing, and that way it also matches my turn signals. Okay, so you'll use those two pieces of hardware along with the two nuts for those two pieces of hardware. Okay, now I'll mention all this in the description. Here's the finished product, and the high mount light totally blends in. It looks super clean. Take a gander. This is the extended. I have not seen this on any convertible online, and I've looked and looked because I was trying to look for pictures to make up my decision. Never really seen the extended on a convertible. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not out there. I just never seen a picture of one. So I think it looks great. If you want to come around, you can check out how nice and smoked out the tail light is up here. And eventually we'll get LED tail lights that are smoked out as well, so that everything kind of blends in and it's got that nice contrast flip-flop, but it doesn't look bad with red at one because my car is red. I wanted the flip-flop look. So that's what we got going. More to come in the future. So don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, the notifications. I'll see you next time. You don't need a crazy amount of tools. I'm just crazy. Take care.